How are you guys? Welcome back to my channel, obviously. Okay, so we're given this assignment. I know this was submitted, but let's just do it. Let's go through it, right? So now I'm just measuring my distances, right? Like I'm just starting by measuring before I start drawing and everything, like before I have the full thing. So I'm just putting my measurements of the top view or plan, right? Because in first angle projection, the plan is always below the front view, right? So now I'm just putting those measurements, as you can see, right? So let's go ahead and put the measurements. Okay. So orthographic view, as you can see, we have curves in this particular diagram. If we have curves on a particular diagram, right, the curves, they only appear in what do you call it? Most of them, if the curve is not vertical, if it's horizontal, it only appears on the plan. But if it's vertical, that's when it appears to either the front view or the end elevation or whatever the side view, left, right side view, whatever, right? So those curves, they only appear on the plan since they are horizontal, right? Okay, so now we're done with our measurements, right? So now we want to go ahead and darken our and start darkening, because we are now drawing like the final thing, right? Because we are done with the construction lines. So now, as you can see, I've just drawn that line, which was 40 millimeters, I think. Yeah. Then, yeah, I just realized that line was going to that point where the curve was starting. So I just extended the line to that point, right? So now I'm taking my compass so that we can draw the curve, right? The curve it only appears on the plan, right? So you go ahead and measure and find the center, which I'm doing. We find the center of the curve, which I'm just doing right now. So to find the center, you just go ahead and see the radius that's given on the paper. Then you go ahead and measure, either using your ruler or setway or compass or whatever, right? Then you get your center line. So now I'm drawing my center line for those two curves, right? The center line will be like 15 millimeters below, because the curve was 15 millimeters, I think, in radius, right? So now you go ahead and draw your curve using your pair of compasses, right? So we now have our left hand side curve. So now you go ahead and draw that other part, which was that one, exactly, because that part which was on the lower part of the drawing, that was supporting I think it's a rib. I don't remember the name, but I think it's a rib. It would be called a rib that was supporting the curves, right? You go ahead and draw that one. Okay, so now we are drawing that other part of the circle of our curve, right? Semicircle, whatever. So someone was asking me today, why do I put those lines that are going upwards? Like, then I was explaining to them that in drawing, that's our one is the working. It shows that you have worked, right? Those are the principles of drawing. Then the other thing is, if you can see, now I've started with the plan, right? And I've projected those projection lines to the top part of our pair, of our center line, that one, the bigger center line, right? Why did I do that? It's because if you draw that line, those construction lines going upwards, it will be easier for you to take the measurements from there, because there's no point for you to keep on going, let's say using your pair of compasses, going to your ruler, taking measurements and doing whatever you're doing, because you already have the measurement coming from the plan going to the front elevation, because most of these diagrams, they are symmetrical, right? So obviously the measurement on the plan usually is the measurement that will appear on the front view, but what might just differ is like the height, because from the from the front view or end elevation, what we get is the true height mostly. Then for the true lengths, like the length of the building, which are the horizontal distances, we get them from the plan. So that's why I usually advise people to start by the plan, because what will only be determined by the front view is the height, right? So you won't do much work. So that's why I draw those construction lines going upwards and some of them going downwards, right? Okay, so as you can see, now we are drawing that circle. I think by this time you guys are familiar with drawing. What you just want to do in drawing is you want to keep on practicing day by day. No one is born an artist. An art is something that you acquire daily. It's practice, because I will tell you, I practiced my whole life. Yes, a little bit of talent, but as we know, passion beats talent. Okay, so just keep on practicing, guys. By the time we write the exam, all of us will be good. Trust me. You just have to follow the principles, just understand the principles, then you're good with engineering drawing, right? So these are the principles that I'm showing you, that for everything, draw construction lines, then just go ahead and take that distance, right? So at this point, I realized that I made a mistake, and we will correct it later. You see that I corrected it later. That wasn't the thing. So now we're going to the top view. Let's go ahead and draw our top view. So the top view, as you can see, we already now have the horizontal distances. Now what we want are the vertical distances, which are the ones that we are measuring right now. As you can see, it makes life easier, rather than you don't have those construction lines, the faint ones. You now have to start again measuring using your pair of compass set squares, right? So it's easier that way. So now you know that you just have to focus on the height and the height only, and then the horizontal distance, you have it from the plan, right? So now, as you can see, I'm measuring my heights and everything and stuff, right? Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that, guys. It's so simple. Drawing is so simple and fun. Don't complicate life. Don't tell yourself you're not an artist. Everyone is born an artist. Trust me. Say that you sing, you dance, but everyone has that part of art in them, but you just haven't practiced it. So now this is the time for you to practice. And this orthographic view is one of the easiest things you can do in engineering drawing, because there's assembly drawing, which might be a little bit complicated, because for me it took me time to understand it. But trust me, by the time you just realize it, assembly drawing, you just know you just have to join certain parts, then you're done. So now, as you can see, I'm now projecting my lines going to the right side, right? Why am I doing that? Is because I know that if I project those construction lines going to the left side, right, they will help me to get the height, and from the plan, I'll get the width. So it means that even if you don't have the measurements of the end elevation or the side view, you will just get them. Because there are certain questions that will just give you the plan and the front elevation. Then they say produce an end elevation. Or they will just give you, but mostly you might be given just two views. Then they say produce the third view. Why do they do that? It's because they know that they would have given you the measurements. The other third view will just get the measurements from what you've already drawn. So you don't have, for the third view, or if you have made your construction lines, you don't have to keep on going back to that diagram to get the height and the width, because you already have it, right? So right here, as I had told you, I realized that I had made a mistake. I didn't put that part over there, which is the one that I'm measuring, which was 10 millimeters. So now let's go ahead and make it. And obviously, we'll use our eraser. The other thing, in drawing, guys, the eraser will be your best friend. Trust me. If you don't use an eraser, you're not a good artist. Someone might say, Togo, now we no longer use erasers. No. Every artist uses an eraser. And one thing, if you're an artist, you want to invest in is your eraser. There's quite a number of erasers, flexible erasers and stuff. So don't be worried. Just use your eraser. If you make a mistake, use an eraser. Don't cancel in drawing. Just use an eraser, right? So now, as you can see, we have our plan, our top view, right? So now let's go ahead and make our end elevation, right? Yeah, or end elevation. I usually use end elevation because that's what I'm just used to, but end elevation is just the side view or left view or right view. I don't know, whatever the question might say. So now I don't know if I had explained why do we use the 45 degree. I think I explained it yesterday. Let me just explain it. The reason why you want to take your 45 degrees is because you know you're cutting those horizontal lines at an angle of 45 degrees. So if you cut at an angle of 45 degrees, it means that the moment you project another line going vertical, you get a 90-degree angle. And you are rest assured that your measurements, your distance is equal. Like, you get true lengths. They are what we call true lengths in drawing. They are called true length. You get a true length. So some of the angles that give you true lengths, usually it's 45 degrees and 90 degrees. Only those are the two angles that give you true lengths in drawing. If it's 30 degrees or what, it will give you a false length, right? So 45 degrees will give you a true length if you project it to whatever plane you want to project it to, right? So let's go ahead. You draw your 45 degrees line, then you project going upwards, right? Now we want to get our end elevation. As you can see, now I made a mistake because I didn't pay attention to that measurement, and I could see that this line is more than 40 millimeters, and I had to cross check, which is what I'm doing right now. Then I realized, oh, okay, I'd made a mistake. I don't know if you can see it. That line that I projected to that inclined line at 45 degrees is not the one that's there, right? So I'm just cross-checking here, and then we will rub that line that I just constructed before. Right, so let's go ahead and rub it. Exactly, you see, I was now cross-checking. Then that line, I realized that was wrong because there was no projection. There wasn't supposed to be any projection there, right? Then now, yeah, you just draw your faint lines that you have erased. Then, so let's go ahead and darken our drawing again, right? Let's go ahead and darken it. Okay, so today I'm doing more like a voiceover, right? Explaining, like I'm explaining more, right? So that you guys can understand the basics of drawing. I realized that yes, you can watch me draw and do the assignment, right? But you need to know the basics of drawing. So which is what I'm trying to do today, so that you guys know and appreciate what drawing is, how to go about it. And yes, I know that some of us might want me to write the assignment, or someone write the assignment, or what. But what you want to do is you want to practice yourself, because drawing, the more you practice it, the more you will remember it. If you don't practice in drawing, trust me, I will. If you don't practice, I promise you will get a fail. That's why you realize that the lecturer is giving us assignments every day. The reason why he's doing that is because he wants us to practice. The more you practice it, the more you get good at it, right? Because if I tell you the first assignment, most of you couldn't do it. Most of us couldn't do it. But then now, these assignments, all of us, I think we can do it, right? So now, okay, let me go back and explain this. I'm now drawing an imaginary line, right? That imaginary line, there was this inclined thing in between those two blocks that were going up that was inclined. So in the end elevation, we see it as an imaginary line. Then those walls, we also see them as imaginary lines. And later they explain that imaginary lines, they're just dashed lines, right? Just put dashes. As you can see, I'm now putting dashes. My camera quality might not be that good, but yeah. Today I tried to do the tutorial in the NC hostels where there is that light, right? So as you can see, this is how our drawing was coming out. So to those who are asking, are we supposed to draw 2 circles or 1 circle? If a drawing looks symmetrical, if it's symmetrical, you draw 2 circles. You know what's on this side is on the other side. But for those who just draw one circle, it's also correct because you don't know if there's something that's there. So okay guys, thank you so much.